Balake. Where is Balake at?
My name's Blake.
Blake? What? Do you want to go to war, Balake? I'm for real. Ron.
Ron is back for a little bit more SPTV, where every day is a great day not to be in a cult. All right, somebody just sent this to me. This is really strange. I wanted to share it with you, wanted to talk about it, wanted to get some of your ideas on it. Scientology in Clearwater, Florida is promoting that they are putting on a free event at Ruth Eckerd Hall, which is like the Shrine Auditorium of Clearwater, Florida. And I say that because when Scientology holds its live major international events, when they're not doing it on their own premises, they are either renting the Shrine Auditorium in LA or they rent Ruth Eckerd Hall in Clearwater, Florida. That is where David Miscavige does his Scientology events. Well, Scientology is announcing, I'll show this to you right here. Clearwater Summer Bash Community Concert, Saturday, June 14th. That's this coming Saturday at Ruth Eckerd Hall, sponsored by the Church of Scientology. A multi-genre concert including the best of pop, classic rock, Latin, R&B, soul, and country, performed by internationally acclaimed artists. Now, which artists? We don't know because they're not saying, but take their word for it. They're internationally acclaimed. The concert is hosted by Scientologist described as South American superstar Rudy Rodriguez. It says backed by the Flag Band. So that's Sea Org members who work at the Flag Land Base who perform music at Scientology events. No admission fee and complimentary refreshments. Zero cost to get in. Free food. What the hell is going on here? This is very unlike Scientology. What is going on here is that Scientology is in the middle of a heated battle with the Clearwater City government about building their new L. Ron Hubbard Hall, which is where Scientology will hold all of its major international events from there on out once construction of L. Ron Hubbard Hall is completed. Now, there's nothing preventing Scientology from building L. Ron Hubbard Hall today. They've been planning on doing it for 20 years. They already own all the land that they need to do it. Except 6 months ago, David Miscavige decided all of a sudden, in order to build L. Ron Hubbard Hall, he needed to buy the street that goes right in front of L. Ron Hubbard Hall. And since he decided he needed the street, he then changed the construction plans, the design plans for everything to rely on Scientology owning the street, because only if they own the street can they build above and around the street. And of course, the new plans include, a big giant covered awning over the street, and they're going to close the street down. And it's basically going to be a valet street just for Scientology's use. The city of Clearwater basically said, we're not selling you the street. Now, first they said we were going to sell you the street, and then they voted on it and they voted to approve it once. But then by the time the second vote came up, by the time it came time to cast the second vote, enough public outrage had occurred. Scientology's lies had been exposed enough that the council changed its vote. And they said, nope, you're not getting it. So then David Miscavige ran to the governor and the attorney general for Florida. And the attorney general basically sent the city of Clearwater council members a warning that making a decision based on discriminatory factors against the Church of Scientology could have legal ramifications. All right. I'm mentioning all of these proceedings because in those proceedings, it was mentioned, Scientology was asked, so once you finish building L. Ron Hubbard Hall, are you going to start competing with Ruth Eckerd Hall for concert business? Like, you guys keep saying this hall isn't going to be just for Scientology's use, but does that mean you're going to book like world-class concerts at this place? Like, is that one of the things that's going on? And Scientology was like, compete with Ruth Eckerd Hall? My pearls, how could you think such a thing of us? We are partners with Ruth Eckerd Hall. Now, any Scientologist or ex-Scientologist will know, yeah, you're not going to be partners with Ruth Eckerd Hall once you finish building your L. Ron Hubbard Hall. That would be stupid. That would defeat the point of building L. Ron Hubbard Hall. So I don't think it is any coincidence that Scientology just happens to be going, not only are we going to continue to do business with Ruth Eckerd Hall, we're going to just throw money at them and let anyone from the community come. Because realize this is not a Scientology concert. Meaning it's not intended to be for Scientologists. It's intended to be for non-Scientologists in the community. Who in the world would want to go to an event? But it's not like this is an event just in downtown Clearwater and anyone walking through can experience the event. Like, this is Ruth Eckerd Hall. It's a private concert venue. You have to drive there. Like, it's not necessarily just easily accessible to the casual citizen. You have to be like, yes, I'm interested in seeing the acts. And you're like, well, you don't even know who the acts are. They don't even say that they're anonymous people. So you have to be like, yes, I'm interested in going to see these acts, even though I have no idea who they are. I'm interested in taking 2 or 3 hours after a Saturday out of a Sunday afternoon or Saturday afternoon to go over there. And I'm interested, even though I know it's going to be 100% staffed by Scientology Sea Org members. The performers are going to be 100% Scientologists. Chances are almost everyone who goes to the event is going to be a Scientologist. But God darn it, they offered free refreshments. You had me at free refreshments. You know, when I was just mentally preparing to do this video, I was like, you know, obviously the main subject of this channel is exposing Scientology for being a multi-billion-dollar international family-destroying human trafficking cult. And since that is the emphasis of my channel, it's not like I'm sitting here trying to give Scientology credit where credit is due and, you know, just call balls and strikes and only criticize them when appropriate. I take the approach, it is always appropriate to criticize Scientology. But it did occur to me while I was preparing for this video that, like, what would someone who did not have my history with Scientology think about this event? Like, would someone else who had absolutely no history with Scientology, didn't understand what they were about, thought they were just another religious organization in the community who maybe gets an unfair shake, would they be like, now, gosh darn it, Scientology finally does something good and you've just got to crap all over that as well? I don't know. Like, I look at this and the reason why I have a reaction to it is because I see it as just I see it for the obvious manipulation that it is. But would someone else go, who cares if it's manipulation? It's putting on a free show for the people and they're giving them free food. How could you possibly find anything wrong with that? And and so I was chewing on that for a little bit. And I'm like, yeah, I guess you could make that same argument when Scientology puts on its Winter Wonderland for free for people in the community. Honestly, in Clearwater, Florida, I don't think it is free. I think you actually have to pay to get into Winter Wonderland. But it's like, it's such, to an ex-Scientologist, you know, but it's such obvious manipulation. Like, Scientologists don't believe in Jesus, and Christmas is a celebration of Jesus. And they put on this event so that people will be tricked into thinking that somehow Scientology has something in common with some Christian church. And then at the same time, they're passing out Scientology literature. And the truth is, the only reason they put on these events at all is so that they can do a press release about it. To me, I just see the obvious manipulation. But I do wonder if someone that did not have a history with Scientology or the knowledge of their motivations and what really goes on behind the doors would see it differently. And so that's why I wanted to promote this, to get your guys' thoughts either in the live chat or in the comment section down below for the replay crew. And Scientology, don't say I never did anything for you, okay? I'm getting the word out about your free event to more people in Clearwater than you could ever hope to. And also, here's what's interesting. If it's a free event for everyone in the community, is everyone really welcome? Would ex-Scientologists be welcome? Would someone showing up wearing an SPTV shirt be refused entry? What if someone showed up with an SPTV Foundation shirt or hat? Would they be admitted? I mean, after all, it's sponsored by Scientology. Scientology's paying for it, but it's not a Scientology event per se, right? Or is it? I would love if members of the community, especially since this is free and going to this event would not put any money into Scientology's pocket, I would love for as many people as possible who are interested in seeing what Scientology is actually trying to do here, to go to the event. Maybe even take some video in the event if it's permitted. Maybe find out if Scientology is passing out literature at this so-called free event that's just for the community. Now, I just did a Google search for Clearwater Summer Bash. Actually, let me just show the flyer one more time. Clearwater Summer Bash, Saturday, June 14th, Ruth Eckerd Hall. Doors open 6 p.m. The concert's from 7 to 8:30 p.m. No admission fee, complimentary refreshments. RSVP for tickets, 727-467-6860. So I just Googled Clearwater Summer Bash to see what would come up. And it is this event on Eventbrite put on by, it says that this event is being put on by the Foundation for a Drug-Free World Florida chapter. Now that's interesting because sometimes Scientology pretends that the Foundation for a Drug-Free World has nothing to do with Scientology and isn't Scientology. And yet here you have that front group organizing an event staffed completely by Scientology Sea Org members. And the phone number to RSVP for the event is going to be a phone number that rings to the Flag Land Base. Okay, so put on by Foundation for a Drug-Free World. Again, yeah, this is the event. Ruth Eckerd Hall. Event lasts 3 hours. No admission fee. Complimentary refreshments. RSVP for tickets. What do you think about this? Who in their right mind would go to a show completely funded and sponsored by Scientology without any promotion of who's actually going to be putting on the show? Just a bunch of Scientologists. Just a bunch of Scientologists. Yeah, come to Ruth Eckerd Hall. I don't know. I want people to go. I want to see what they do. And I want to see how many people show up. Ruth Eckerd Hall holds pretty much at max capacity, just under 2,200 people. Now, Scientology claims to have 15,000 people living in Clearwater. This is a free event. Would Scientology want their own people to go to stuff the seats? Or would they not want their own people to go to leave as much room available for members of the community? This is an interesting one. Just figured I'd share it with you guys. We got one super chat here. RW, costume party time. Dress as Miscavige, Tom Cruise, Thetans, Xenu, L. Ron Hubbard, you name it. That's the other thing that I would like to see. If anyone's willing to go, if anyone's willing to go and go without two things I'd like to see happen. Some people willing to go and see if they'll get turned away just for being undesirable to Scientology, and other people willing to go not trying to get turned away and actually being able to see what goes on inside, document what's happening. Is the place being staffed by Sea Org members? Is it Scientology volunteers? Is there Scientology literature? Are they selling Scientology books? That would be very interesting to me. CO Bilf, will Ryan Cotton be there? That would be another great thing to see. Are there any city council members there? Are there any county politicians there? Are the Lavalas there? Anyone from the state government there? Yeah. All right, guys, just a short little local interest item. That's all. Stay tuned. More to come. Talk to you soon.
Okay, if you want to see my rock and roll songs, click right on this guitar. And if you want to see a different one of my videos, then you could click right inside here. If you have subscribed or not, subscribe